Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man walah. Amma ba'd, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, thumma alhamdulillah. The next chapter in the book Riyad us-Saliheen is Babul Muraqabah. Is the chapter of al-Muraqabah. Muraqabah means to observe, to take note, to watch, or to monitor something. And some of the scholars, they mentioned that when we speak about Muraqabah, there's two types of Muraqabah. There is the first aspect, which is where we do Muraqabah of Allah, where we understand and that we are trying to observe that Allah Azza wa Jal and His presence, to observe the presence of Allah Azza wa Jal. And the second aspect of Muraqabah is knowing that Allah Azza wa Jal is doing Muraqabah of us. وَكَانَ اللَّهُ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ رَقِيبًا. This word raqiban, similar to Muraqabah, comes from this word Muraqabah, which means, and Allah is ever observing or a watcher over all things. So this is the Muraqabah of Allah, that Allah Azza wa Jal is doing Muraqabah at every given moment. He is watching, He's taking note, He's observing every single thing. So these are the two types of Muraqabah. The one is where we do Muraqabah of Allah, and the second is understanding that Allah is doing Muraqabah of everything else, of all of us. So this is similar to what the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he mentioned of al-ihsan. In the famous hadith of Jibreel alayhi salam, when Jibreel alayhi salam came to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and asked him those questions, what is Islam, what is Iman, and what is ihsan? What is ihsan? He said, أَن تَعْبُدَ اللَّهَ كَأَنَّكَ تَرَاهُ. That you worship Allah as if you are seeing Him. This is the first type of Muraqabah. This is a type of Muraqabah where we will not see Allah Azza wa Jalla in this dunya, but it's as if we are seeing Him. It is where a person reaches a level in his worship, in his servitude to Allah, as if he sees Allah in front of him. And this is the highest level that a person can reach, that he worships as if he sees Allah in front of him. And then the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, فَإِن لَمْ تَكُنْ تَرَاهُ فَإِنَّهُ يَرَاكَ. And if you cannot see Him, if you do not reach this level, there's a level below this, which is knowing that He sees you. At least know that He sees you. And this is the second type of Muraqabah that we mentioned. So Muraqabah is tied into this concept of ihsan, where we are either in a state where we are worshipping Him, we are living as if we see Allah in front of us. And if not, at least at the state where we understand Allah is watching me at every given moment, that nothing is hidden from Him. So the first state is that state of, when you're worshipping Allah upon desire, upon hope. Desire means here the hope to meet Him, the hope for His mercy, desire just to please Him, the desire just to please Allah Azza wa Jal purely. That's the only reason we do this acts of worship. As if I'm seeing Him, everything is just dedicated to Him, to please Allah Azza wa Jal. The second level is one that is associated with fear, where I do not see Him, but I know He sees me. So there's a state of fear that I reach. It's an ibadah of khawf. We worship Him upon fear. We worship Him upon rahbah. There's two types of worship. One is raghbah, one where we are striving, hoping, desiring to please Allah, desiring His reward. The opposite is rahbah, where we have fear and worry. And if I do not do this, Allah might do this. If I do this sin, Allah might punish me like this. So this is a rahbah. Both of this is tied into Muraqabah. Both of this is tied into this concept of al-ihsan, that every believer should be striving for, that every believer should be working hard to reach, constantly being aware of Allah Azza wa Jal, constantly being aware that either we observing Him and His signs around us, or that He is observing us. So tomorrow, inshaAllah ta'ala, we will begin this chapter. The author, as he did with all of the chapters before, he first brings us ayat of the Quran that relates to this chapter. So tomorrow onwards we will speak about some of the verses that speaks about Muraqabah. بإذن الله تعالى وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.